Hey, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Just a Moment with Mila. I am your host, Jamila. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Today is Monday, June 5th, and I am back with a new episode. So if you guys are ready to roll, let's roll. Okay, guys. A couple weeks ago, we talked about the healing journey, right? And we talked about briefly the difficulties that can occur when you are on your journey, but we talked more about strategies that you can use when you're on your journey so that it can be as successful, as possible, right? But today I want to revisit that conversation about healing is hard, and I want to talk about actually why healing is hard. And for me, there are three main reasons, three really, really big reasons. Um, it's hard for everybody, right? Healing is a mother. Let's just say that, right? Depending on what the struggle is, what the issue is, what it is that you're healing from, it is not an easy, journey to go on. So let's talk about three reasons healing from anything, heartbreak, trauma, whatever it is hard work. Okay, so the first reason is digging. Okay, healing requires you to go down into the deepest parts of yourself, right? Usually you're revisiting your childhood and you're trying to find out what your core wounds are, the things that um happened during your childhood that had the most negative effect on you, right? Um so like if heartbreak feels like a normal occurrence for you, it's usually because there are some behaviors and mindsets that you learned as a child that are standing in the way of fulfillment in a relational way. Or if you are somebody who is afraid of commitment, it's because you didn't see commitment model, as a child. Or if you have a fear of abandonment, it's because you saw a lot of people going in and out of your life as a child, usually, right? So you got to dig deep inside to go back to that place where you may have learned where some of this stuff started from in the first place. And that in and of itself is something that people don't want to do because it conjures up a lot of feelings that they don't want to feel, which leads to number two. The second reason why healing is hard work is because of resistance. Once you figure out what those behaviors are, what those feelings are, what those emotions are, where they come from, you have work to do in order to fix, to tweak, or to change those behaviors, right? Change in and of itself can be hard work, which is why people resist or flat out avoid doing it. So that's number two, resistance. Number three, um, and I think that this can be, one of the biggest issues for a lot of people, is time. Healing is not something you can do or should try to do overnight. It is a long and arduous process that requires patience and perseverance with yourself, with other people, whatever it is. You have to be patient. Not only does it take time to actually do the work, but it takes time to see the fruits of your labor. You're not going to see the results of the work that you're trying to do immediately, right? When you get upset with the process, it can make you want to give up on the process, right? When you're not seeing the fruits of your labor come to fruition, it can make you think that you're not doing anything, or it can make you think that what you're doing is not working. So it can make you just want to stop altogether, and you can't do that, right? The last thing to grow on, a fruit tree is the fruit, right? So you got to give yourself patience. You have to give yourself grace, right? When you feel, like I said, when you feel like you want to give up, you're no longer committed to the process. So stick it out a little longer, see the process through, give yourself time, give yourself grace, and don't beat yourself up when you stumble. But we'll get into that in a minute. Okay, we'll get into all of the, that stuff in a second. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break and I will be right back. All right. I need you guys to do me a favor. I want to continue pushing content out for this podcast, and I want to grow this podcast. I want to grow the listenership for this podcast, and without your help, I can't do that. So I'm going to ask you guys to, if you would, please consider making a small donation to this channel. It would greatly help me grow. If you will, I would really appreciate it. There's so much in store, and I want to give the best content possible to everyone who listens and now and everyone who will listen in the future. So I'm gonna post a link to be able to for you guys to be able to make the donation in the listener notes, or in the show notes rather. So again, if you guys could consider making a donation, I would really appreciate it. All right, thank you so very much. Okay, guys, so I'm going to close with this, right? Not everyone is at the place where they can acknowledge that healing is necessary. Not everyone who can acknowledge that they need to heal has the tools to do so. And not everyone who needs to heal is ready to do the work. We are all on a healing journey in some way or another, in some way, shape, or form. And like I was saying earlier, give yourself grace, give others grace, take your time, be kind to yourself, and most importantly, trust the process. Okay? You got this. I believe in you. All right? All right. Okay, guys, that's it for this week. Thank you so much again for joining me. Share this with someone who you think might need it. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy your Monday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Happy June to everybody. Can you believe we're already in June? Time is flying. All right, guys, enjoy your Monday. Enjoy your week. And I will see you back here next Monday. All right, take care.